shiny nose. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows
like a lightning mirror.
And of the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names like Pinocchio. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games like Monopoly. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you drive my sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeer loved him, as he shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history, like Columbus.
And next song is going to be Joy to the World. Ready?
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And saints and angels sing. And saints and angels sing. And saints and angels sing.
Next and final song is Silent Night. Ready?
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round now virgin, mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Okay, I'm done.
David, do you have a poem or a song ready for us? That's okay if you don't.
I told you it takes me
I'm sure there's a
weeks
haiku you might
to
want to
write a
share.
poem.
Weeks to write about that.
That's fine.
Any quality writing.
Alright, so
We'll have to
now
have
we're gonna
some
have our encore
inspiration.
performance of The Grinch Stole a Christmas Tree by Dad.
Somebody got the words?
I memorize?
I don't even remember. I just remember the chorus. I don't remember the rest of it.
Kids are so handy. So Matt, how to get that nomination?
Forgot about that.
I can keep them?
That's what Brett said.
You gotta stay here, what? You gotta stay here.
How does it go? I mean,
The Grinch stole the Christmas tree.
Christmas tree.
Yes, he
Stole,
Christmas tree. There's
And what's after that?
something on the Christmas tree. Something on the Christmas tree.
I saved it
It's
in
just
my
all-
secret
it's
pocket of
all-
my purse because I knew we would need it
That's the
again.
entire thing?
There's just the words that you add onto it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay, now I remember.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna definitely need this.
Smart.
Where'd you hide it? Secret pocket of my purse. What else is in that pocket?
Ready? The Grinch stole a Christmas tree. The Grinch stole a Christmas tree. Yes, he stole, yes, he stole, yes, he stole our Christmas tree. There's a stand on the Christmas tree. There's a stand on the Christmas tree. Yes, he stole, yes, he stole, yes, he stole our Christmas tree. There's a trunk in the stand on the Christmas tree. There's a trunk on the stand on the Christmas tree. Yes, he stole, yes, he stole, yes, he stole our Christmas tree. There's a branch on the trunk on the stand on the Christmas tree. There's a branch on the trunk on the stand on the Christmas tree. There's a stole, yes, he stole, yes, he stole our Christmas tree. There's a bough on the branch on the trunk on the stand on the Christmas tree. There's a bough on the branch on the trunk on the stand on the trunk on the Christmas tree. There's a stole, yes, he stole, yes, he stole our Christmas tree. There's a twig on the bough on the branch on the trunk on the stand on the Christmas tree. There's a twig on the bough on the branch on the stand on the Christmas tree. There's a There's a nest on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand of the Christmas tree. There's a nest on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand of the Christmas tree. It's so, like Christmas tree. There's a bird in the nest on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand of the Christmas tree. There's a bird in the nest on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand of the Christmas tree. It's so, like Christmas tree. There's a wing on the bird, on the nest, on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand, on the Christmas tree. There's a wing on the bird, on the nest, on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand, on the Christmas tree. It's so, like Christmas tree. There's a tip on the wing, on the bird, on the nest, on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand, on the Christmas tree. There's a tip on the wing, on the bird, on the nest, on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand, on the Christmas tree. It's so, like Christmas tree. There's snow on the tip, on the wing, on the bird, on the nest, on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand, on the Christmas tree. There's snow on the tip, on the wing, on the bird, on the nest, on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand, on the Christmas tree. It's so, like Christmas tree. There's a flea on the snow, on the tip, on the wing, on the bird, on the nest, on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand, on the Christmas tree. There's a flea on the snow, on the tip, on the wing, on the bird, on the nest, on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand, on the Christmas tree. It's so, like Christmas tree. There's a who on the flea, on the twig, on the snow. There's a who on the flea, on the snow, on the tip, on the wing, on the bird, on the nest, on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand, Christmas tree. There's a who on the flea, on the snow, on the tip, on the wing, on the bird, on the nest, on the twig, on the bough, on the branch, on the trunk, on the stand, on the Christmas tree. Yes, he stole, yes, he stole, yes, he stole our Christmas tree. Would you say that for next year, please?
That's your cue.
What more can you say about a man so greedy, so self-centered, a man who only cares about making money and keeps to himself? He was in a good financial situation. With the death of his business partner, Jacob Marley, all Scrooge could think of him was that he was a great man of business. It was Christmas Eve, and all through the office, Scrooge and his nephew were working the last few minutes of the workday, warmed by tiny fires in the fireplaces.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. You're such a great man. I can't believe that I was blessed to be related to you. And don't get me started on how happy I am to work for you.
Bah, humbug. Christmas is just nature's way of telling us that we aren't dead. I suggest you get a grip on reality.
What are you saying? Christmas is so much more, Uncle.
Please, enlighten me.
Well, it's all about...
I didn't mean it. I don't want to hear another word about Christmas. Say another word about Christmas and you're fired.
Can I say anything about Easter?
I'm kind of neutral towards Easter. But don't start talking about it this early.
Alright then. Uncle! You should come have Christmas dinner with me and my family tomorrow. Please, I would be honored. It would do you some good too.
Family? I don't believe in family. Family is the bane of all society. You would be better off eating slugs.
That's a silly thing to say. You can be so odd sometimes, Uncle. Well, have a happy Hanukkah and a happy New Year.
And so the nephew left, still upbeat and happy. He set off for his home.
My nephew, my clerk, makes 16 cents a month and speaks about having a Merry Christmas. How foolish.
As the nephew left, two gentlemen carrying books came in.
Well, look at this place. I've only seen it in the rich, grumpy old people's magazines. Are you Mr. Scrooge?
I am. And what do you dirt lickers want?
In the spirit of Christmas, we like to give money to the less fortunate. So we are going around town trying to find noble people that are willing to donate.
Well, scumsacks. It is my pleasure to inform you that your search will have to continue elsewhere. I am not the kind of person to donate money to those Krogers who can't support themselves. They deserve to make cookies in the sewers for the rest of their lives. Now get out.
But if we don't get donations,
They will surely die!
Then by all means, let them die! The streets are cluttered enough as it is. Now, out!
The gentleman left,
feeling quite down. And as Scrooge went back to work, Bob Cratchit emerged from his working space, put on his hat, and prepared to leave for the day.
Let me guess. You want the whole day off tomorrow because it's Christmas.
Well, yeah, if it's not too inconvenient.
Actually, it's very inconvenient. And especially since I pay you a day's work when you aren't even here.
But it's only once a year.
Your point? Fine. But be here early the next morning.
He promised that he would, and Scrooge left the office, ate dinner, and read the newspaper. Then went to bed, and as he was about to fall asleep, he saw a faint and small light in the corner of his room. As time passed, the light grew and grew until it took the form of a man. Though he wasn't normal, he glowed and was transparent, and he was covered in chains. He seemed vaguely familiar.
Great. A ghost. The only thing worse than Christmas. What do you want with me?
I want a lot!
It was then that Scrooge recognized the ghost as his deceased business partner, Marley.
Molly? What are you doing here? Go back to wherever it is that dead people go to.
The place of which you speak is Antarctica, and I don't want to go back there. It's cold. And besides, I have business with you, Scrooge!
What business? Why have you come? Why do you have all those chains all over you?
Clink, clink, clink. I wear the chain of force in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I got it of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it. And let me tell you this, it is not pleasant!
You were always such a good man of business.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Thank you for the compliment, but I'm not married. Wait, did you say spirits? That's okay, I don't think I need any more of those in my life.
You're not given the option to refuse. They will help you avoid my fate. At 1 o'clock in the morning, the first one will appear. The second will come at 3, and the third will arrive at 5.
Really? Do they have to come so early? I need my beauty sleep, you know.
This is the last you will see of me, Scrooge. Goodbye.
So Scrooge climbed into bed to try to get some sleep, but he was so nervous and restless that he couldn't even get a minute of sleep. And when the clock struck 1, the first spirit arrived.
Are you the spirit that was foretold to come to me?
Well, of course I am. What else could I possibly be?
Who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
What past?
Yours. Take my arm.
Scrooge did as he was told, and they were transported to Scrooge's past.
Hey, I remember this place. This is where I proposed to Belle, and...
You're cute.
Belle, will you marry me?
No. Goodbye.
Before Scrooge could say a word, a bright flash appears. When it clears, Scrooge finds himself back in his room, and the spirit is gone.
Great. 2 more experiences like that? I can hardly wait.
As Scrooge paced his room, still unable to sleep, he started to hear a distant laughter. It got louder and louder until a second ghost appeared before him.
Well, you seem like a jolly old fellow. I hate jolly.
Yes, I well know of your hatred of everything good. I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look at me.
I've never seen anyone dressed in such an apparel as this. It is very curious.
grab a hold of my robe.
Scrooge did, and held on as they were transported to the Cratchit family household. They were preparing for the dinner. It was just about ready. Then came in Bob Cratchit with Tiny Tim at his side.
Who's Mrs. Cratchit? Who's Mrs. Cratchit? Oh.
Welcome home, hubby. How are you? Tim, why don't you go get washed up for dinner?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm doing well. A lovely Christmas this is.
And how did Tim behave?
As good as gold and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much and thinks the strangest things you have ever heard. He told me coming home that he hoped the people saw him in the church because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day he who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Spirit, tell me, will Tiny Tim live?
I'm afraid if things continue to go on their present path, Tim will surely die.
Oh no. Oh no. Kind Spirit, say he will be spared.
If his condition is unaltered in the future, he will not make it. But by all means, let him die. The streets are cluttered enough as it is.
Scrooge hung his head in shame when hearing his own words quoted by the Spirit.
Will you decide what men shall live, what men shall die? It may be that in the sight of heaven you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child. Oh, to hear the insect on the leaf pronouncing on the too on the too much life among his hungry. Hungry brothers in the dust.
It was then that Tiny Tim returned, and the family sat down to a delicious feast. After they were done, they cleared the table and started a fire. They got out the drinks and gathered around the fireplace.
Down near the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, a Merry Christmas to all of us.
Merry Christmas!
And God bless everyone.
I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Scrooge. Without him, we would not have this feast.
Oh yes, Mr. Scrooge. I wish he was here so I could give him a piece of my mind to feast on. And I'm sure he would have an appetite for it. Why would you drink to such an idiot, stinky, hard, unfeeling man like Mr. Scrooge? You know he is. Nobody knows that better than you.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
I'll drink his health for your sake and the days, but not for his. Long life to him. A Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
I've seen enough. Let us be gone.
Grab my robe.
Scrooge did, and they were transported to Fred's house. He was hosting a Christmas party. He was with his wife.
Why did you bring me here? Take me home.
Sorry.
Oh wait. Oh, my Uncle Scrooge thinks Christmas is a humbug. What a silly man.
Well, he's also rich, but he's so irritable. I have no patience for him.
I do. I feel sorry for him. He goes out of his way to dislike just about everything. He won't even join us for dinner.
It was then that the party decided to play charades. Fred was first, and he began to act like Scrooge. It didn't take long for the crowd to guess that it was him. Scrooge had seen enough. He politely asked to leave. They were transported to a graveyard.
Why did you bring me here? Take me home.
This is where you will meet the ghost of Christmas future, but before I leave, I need to show you this.
The ghost of Christmas present then opened his robe to reveal
What are they?
Look at them. This one is ignorance. And this one is want. Beware them both.
With that, the ghost of Christmas present disappeared, leaving Scrooge alone in the graveyard. He called out, but nobody answered. Then he saw a dark, hooded figure.
Hey! Oh! I assume you are the ghost of Christmas future. You're going to show me what has not happened, but will happen, right? Come on. Talk to me.
The spirit did not speak, but simply pointed to a gravestone. It was covered in dust. It was obvious that nobody had visited it or paid any respect to the dead corpse inside.
Poor soul. Does nobody miss you? Do you not have any friends? Any family that loves you?
Curiosity overcame Scrooge. He wipes away the dust to find that it is his grave.
What? Am I that person? Nobody cares that I am dead? Did anyone ever care? Isn't there any way to avoid this horrible future? Am I past the point of no return? Is it too late for me? No, there must be a way to change what I want to change. I want to change. I know there must be a way to change. I want to change. From now on, I will live with the Christmas spirit all year long. I will be generous and kind. I will not forget the lessons that have been taught to me. I will change.
Suddenly, he found himself back in his bed in the present time on Christmas.
Okay. Hey, I'm back! Yeehaw! I'm back! Now to change my ways.
Scrooge went over to the window and saw a little boy walking on the street.
Hey, kid! I know your parents probably told you not to talk to strangers, but I need you to go buy a huge turkey and give it to the Cratchit family. But don't tell them that it was me who sent you. If you do this, I'll give you $1,000. Can you imagine that, punk?
Okay, so I'll do it.
As the kid went off to get the turkey, Scrooge got dressed. Then the lad returned.
I did exactly what you said. I put it exactly where you wanted to.
Good job, Sonny Jim. Here's your payment. Don't waste it all in one night.
Thank you.
Mr. Scrooge set off. On his way, he ran into the gentleman that had asked him for a donation that day.
Pause.
Mr. Scrooge.
Cut.
Right. Am I in it again?
Yeah.
We are both.
Oh, you bet.
Wait, no, just Andrew.
Oh, what about me?
Just happy enough to do this.
Now you're good, Jenna.
Give us your best tap dancing.
Wait, what?
Your best tap dancing.
Oh.
Really? Sterling, look.
Okay, gentlemen.
We're missing a hat.
I need my hat.
He likes wants more.
Action. Wait. Go back out. Are you ready?
Just
Sorry,
count.
ready?
Just use that hat. It's okay.
It's a grim.
Okay, I'll do my line again.
Kenny's hat.
Okay.
Ready? Mr. Scrooge set off on his way he ran into the gentleman that had asked him for a donation that day.
Good
Day before,
morning!
sorry.
And Merry Christmas. I was wondering if it was too late to offer a donation.
Of course not. It's never too late to help. How much should we put you down for?
Mr. Scrooge, are you serious? This is very generous indeed. Thank you very, very much.
I am very serious. This is very generous indeed. I'm happy to help the less fortunate. Merry Christmas!
Good day, Mr. Scrooge. Merry Christmas.
Scrooge went to his workplace and waited. A few minutes later, Bob Cratchit comes in. Scrooge.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, wait, oh.
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing coming in at this time of the day?
I'm sorry I'm late. It's only once a year. I promise I won't be late again.
I am not going to stand for this any longer. So I'm going to give you a raise.
Bob trembled and reached for a chair. He had a momentary idea of knocking Scrooge down with it, holding him and calling to the people in the court for help and a straitjacket.
Merry Christmas to you, my good fellow. I'll give you a raise, and I'm going to help you with you and your struggling family. I'll be at your house this afternoon to discuss it.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew, and any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh and little heeded them, for he was wise enough to know that nothing ever happened on this globe for good, at which some people did not have their fill of laughter in the outset. And knowing that such as these would be blind anyway, he thought it quite as well that they should wrinkle up their eyes in grins, as have the malady in less attractive forms. His own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him.
Next page.
He had no further intercourse with spirits, but lived upon the total abstinence principle.
We are professionals here.
Brett's the only one not laughing. Janet doesn't get it either.
And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well. If any man alive possessed the knowledge, may that be truly said of us and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God
God bless us, everyone.